even when the cops were taking his information, he had been kicked in the head so many times that it felt like he kind of didn't know who he was.
Why, y'all fuck him up?
I didn't, but my friends basically.
And you were justified for that, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they honestly just kicked him in the head until he passed out.
No, I want to have the taser on this episode. Because I do. I feel like just how the vibes have been the past couple of days, I feel like this is the one where I fucking spaz out.
You don't have the balls.
I will tase the fuck out
You
of
wouldn't
you,
do
bro.
shit.
I 100%
I'm gonna be honest. You have no idea.
I 100% will.
Welcome back to Impaulsive, the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you guys for watching, listening, subscribing. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, etc. We do an extended audio Q&A with the guests after the visual is done, so make sure to check out the audio.
Why did you sound like a robot?
Wow.
By the way, man, I fucking love you, dude. I'm
Thanks,
just kidding.
thanks, man.
I don't want to tase you.
Hey, although you did hop out of the car and point it at my head yesterday.
Did, bro.
No
there was a
problem.
lot of things being pointed at people's heads yesterday, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was not the only fucking thing.
Our guest today has. This is tough, ladies and gentlemen. We freaking got him. We actually got two guests today.
We got both of them.
Yo, I only wrote the intro for Adam. Are you sure?
Want me to hit mine on the? I'll hit her on the fly.
Okay. All right.
All right. One of them is a world-renowned architect whose travels have taken her from Africa, Ethiopia, and southern France.
Incredible.
She was the original inventor of Cool Whip, and she now is a bona fide social media phenom who is now dating this man.
Adam 22, he's got the beard of a Viking and the heart of a liar. He's the host of No Jumper, one of the biggest podcasts in the world, and has his finger on the pulse of culture. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam 22 and Lena the Plug.
Holy shit, no one saw that.
You just
No one saw
unplugged the
that.
camera.
Now,
Holy-
fuck, because you want to know why?
The camera.
Want to know something? She did that subliminally because her good side is the other side, and so she was just taking that out of play.
Was that his
completely, bro.
camera?
I think we're good.
Did we lose the connection, Brad?
I just wanted this to be all about me. So
I know exactly how you guys feel because people definitely do that on my podcast
Fuck
as
your shit
well.
up.
Rip the cord up by
My
accident.
apologies.
No, it's all right.
Damn.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Worse shit has happened.
All right, yo, so we good? All right, so thank you for almost ruining our entire podcast. No problem.
Why do you always have to?
Kicked out.
He does that when awkward shit happens. He's one of those people that like plays into it. I try to alleviate it.
No,
that
that
meant
makes it a little
I
nothing.
less
appreciate my
awkward.
intro.
No one saw that.
Listen.
Cool Whip.
Adam walked in today. I'm sure everyone's seen what's happened, and I said, "Hey, man, good to see you. Good to see you alive." What the f, dude?
Man, I don't know.
My man's got robbed. A potential robbery at gunpoint yesterday. I want to show this video. Am I gonna get fucking copyright strike?
If I were you, I would just turn down the audio because
Okay.
there's a Post Malone song that plays at the end of it. We were listening to like a fan song, but then it auto plays Post Malone as this guy's getting beat up, and then apparently UMG is claiming the clip for the
I
aggressive
saw you
rape.
tweet about that.
Yeah, so I mean, actually, you
Savages.
should be all right for the first part, just not the part afterwards where I sort of come
Okay.
back to the
All right.
table and such.
All right, I'm gonna play with the audio here, but yo, this is insane.
Wow, Adam, big
There
boy.
we go.
He's just talking.
This is Bossa Nova being sent to. We just got our Postmates order.
And here it comes with the gun.
Bro,
Like,
holy! And
kill
this was a live stream.
Yeah, we do like live streams in the back of my shop where we just play music, watch music videos, we listen to our fan songs, and then, and I had my guy posted up right at the door with a gun, which we always have every time we're on live stream, just in case something like this were to happen. But he actually chose the 5-second window that the Postmates was being delivered for him
my
to try to
God.
run up in there, and he was,
Purposely, you think?
yeah, he
yeah,
was definitely
sure.
on some crazed fan shit.
Is that what it was? Was he trying to make a name? Like, what the fuck? What happened, bro?
I mean, he was he says give me all your money. So I feel like
yeah, but he says it in such a way. He's like, "You gonna give me all that money?"
yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
I didn't
weird,
believe him.
bro.
He wasn't convincing.
I don't
no.
think he wanted your money. I
Right.
don't know, but fuck, yo, that's terrifying.
But you want an Impulsive exclusive?
Yeah.
Sort of. Well, I
Yes.
was just talking to a different media company, and they told me they were about to publish an article about it, and that they talked to the cops, and the cops said that the gun had fake bullets in it.
I knew it. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I don't think he wanted the money. He
Right?
didn't really
Yeah.
want it.
Or I don't know. Did you think that we were going to be really scared?
You're a shitty robber, and you suck, and you suck as a human. Fuck you for robbing my friend.
Bad robber.
Yeah, I think what got more attention than the robbery itself was your reaction, and it brought me back. I used to be in the fucking drug game back in the day, and so I've had guns pulled on me multiple times, like four different times. 3 dudes that I knew, and they're like, "Yo, give me the stash, give me whatever," and I go, fuck you, pull the trigger because you're not going to fucking do shit, right?
Right.
And it went that way. Another time in New Haven, Connecticut, a dude came out, snots running out of his nose, hand in his hoodie, put it right to my head in the car and said, yo, give me everything. And I went, yep. Handed him everything, bro. So like my question to you is like your reaction, was that based on how you would always react or was it the mentality you thought that guy had, like individually?
If I was in a different situation, I could definitely imagine myself of being scared. But I mean, number one, he says, give me all your money. I had no money on me. I got like 50 Australian dollars is how much I think I had because I just got off the plane and like I just don't have any actual currency on me. I'm like thinking like, did this guy really just run into a live stream to take what, like my phone and like my credit cards? Like this just doesn't seem real. And what people don't see in the clip is that my guy already had a gun pointed at this guy from the second that he walked in. Oh. And that's actually the crazy shit about it is that like, I mean, my guy would have been completely justified in my opinion for shooting him in that second. Like he had this little 2-second window where he had to decide whether he was going to pop this dude or not. And he chose not to, which to be honest, like I think like a real trained security guard would have pulled the trigger because he had the gun right in my face. But I think I was talking to him, he felt the same way that I did, which is that he thought that it wasn't actually that serious because the gun looked so fucked up, because the gun looked like spray painted or something. So now hearing from these people who contacted me saying that the gun wasn't fake or that the gun was fake, that has me tripped out because our instinct was kind of right that the gun didn't look right, you know? Wow. Because I feel like my friend would have actually probably shot him.
How dumb was this fucking dude to go in like, yo, like I don't know you personally, but I've seen your shit. I know the people that you fuck with and I know like the places that you're at. I would never pull some shit like that. Like I think that dude rightfully would have been shot, one, but like how stupid is he to roll in somewhere with a fake gun?
Right.
Did he suffer from any sort of mental disorder?
My guess is yes, but I don't really like have any like exact reason for saying that except for the fact that it just didn't seem serious. Like it didn't. Okay, let's put it this way: he definitely wasn't an experienced robber. This isn't what he does all the time. I'm guessing because you know, at the end of the day, even if the gun was real, like what do you really think that you're going to be able to get 3-4 dudes, however many people were back there, to all back down? Like even with one gun, like it's just not gonna unless you shoot somebody to get it started. Then
did he know you were streaming?
I feel like he had to.
Because I wonder if that had
he definitely did
Yeah.
to do with it.
I'm not gonna divulge exactly how we know that, but yeah, he definitely was.
Have you? You started digging a little bit. On
we dug a little bit. I got hit up by somebody who like claimed to like know his parents and stuff, and they started giving me a little bit of information that I haven't shared with the cops yet.
Weirdo, dude.
No, it was a mind blowing situation, especially just because I feel like. There's been so many times where we get into situations where like a rapper is mad at us because of something we said about him or something like that. So I don't know if this is maybe one of those situations. Maybe we said his song sucked on live stream.
Yeah.
That's what I think it was.
I mean, that's like the only thing I could think of is that maybe we offended this dude somehow. And that.
How did you feel about it? You
Terrified.
You weren't there.
No, I wasn't there, but I was like, as soon as I saw the clip, I got sick to my stomach because the laughter, I interpreted it as fear. I was like, oh, he's like, this is nervous laughter. And I just felt so like hurt for you. And then I wanted you to come. He was like, I'm going to go back on stream. I'm like, this motherfucker almost gets killed. And he's just like, going to get back to work. He changed his mind and came home. But I was like, I just want to hug so bad right now. Like,
I just went home and ate carrot cake. Yeah.
Yo, if anybody says like that, there's not like at least a little bit of fear looking down the barrel. It's not true.
Yeah, but
like, you didn't look
saw
scared
none in that video. Which
it just didn't feel serious enough. It's like if you're robbing me for my money and I don't have any money and I'm assuming that you don't want to become a murderer for no reason. I'm just feeling like it's not going to happen. And from my perspective, it's like I'm looking at him, but then also seeing my friend with a gun pointed at the guy's head. I was just as nervous about the idea of this guy getting shot right on top of me too, because, you know, thinking about what's going to happen in my store and the neighbors are going to be like, why'd you just kill this dude? I mean, granted, there would be video of the whole thing, which would be great for like proving that it was self-defense and everything. But I mean, imagine if this poor fucking kid, like I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that like he was probably going through something or he was just messed up in the head from something. Like, I mean, I don't want.
Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel? So it seems pretty clear that you're happy that he wasn't shot.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure that he's going through something. He's got to have some kind of mental illness.
I introduced her and said you got the heart of a liger. I wasn't kidding. Oh my God. I mean,
you'd want him dead.
Yo, someone points a gun at me, real or fake, around me and my friends.
Okay, I'll say this.
Why do I do this when I'm like thinking?
Charge at him.
I will say this though, is that if my friend had shot him, I don't think I would really feel bad.
Yeah.
It's just more that like, oh God, I'm glad that we were able to resolve the situation
Without
in a way where
violence.
somebody didn't have to die.
Yes.
Because this dude, like, he could go to jail for a few years and then get out and be like a normal person. You know, it's like he clearly just made a bad decision or something.
I
I'm
wonder
like,
how old he is. Like, I want to know more about him. I'm like, I feel like
You don't know anything about the dude.
I don't. But I mean, and it was weird too, because even when the cops were taking his information, he had been kicked in the head so many times that it felt like he kind of didn't know who he was.
Why y'all fuck him up?
I
hell
didn't, but
yeah.
my friends basically
And
like,
you were justified for that, obviously.
yeah,
right?
I mean, they honestly just kicked him in the head until he passed out so that we could just wait for the cops to
Oh my
show up.
God.
And honestly, I had just gotten man, Bossa Nova, so good.
Oh, it's the greatest. The greatest.
I went right into eating my food. The cops are there. The cops are taking my statement and everything. I'm just sitting there just eating
I
chicken.
feel like I would have
and
lost my
plantains.
appetite. I don't know if I would have been able to eat, but
That was the
good for
weirdest
you.
thing, was that it started so fast. You know,
that you got hungry. Because of it.
It started and ended so fast that it was like, okay, you know when you get in like a real fight where you're really on edge for like a half hour and then you actually are fighting and all that stuff, that will make you lose your appetite. This was so fast that I didn't really have time to like get that on edge.
I saw your physical response, and like I think you acted that way because you had a feeling that it wasn't the real deal, but it made me think through like the right solution for that, like physically when that happens, and like the cops are like, common sense would tell you just always comply with these people that have a gun in your head. Like if you have money, just fucking give it to them. Like you'll figure it out after. But there are people out there who try to take physical control of the situation. I guess to those people, you got to say, like, unless you have a direct action plan or training,
I was gonna say
probably don't fucking do that.
I was confused. I mean, you're a big guy, dude. I didn't know you were as big as you were. What are you, like 6'3"?
Yeah.
Probably like 220.
Wow.
Very good.
Spot on.
You should look into a career in this. Yeah.
Imagine him at the circus, like, guess your weight,
Or
kid.
when you go to the
Like,
supermarket and you got to like put in $1 and it tells you your weight.
No, but I mean, you could have taken this guy down in a second. Why didn't you get up and?
I mean, he has a gun to his head.
I mean, that's kind of how
No,
I
but
feel looking
there was
at
like
it now.
there was a second where like he was clearly like disoriented.
Yeah. And I
And-
think part of it that you don't see on camera there is because my dude grabbed him like so quickly, but that was also part of why I sort of like laughed, is because he like gets in my face, puts the gun to my head, and then immediately sort of jumps back. And like, it just didn't seem like if you were going to really rob somebody, you would like put the gun to their head and keep the gun to their head. Like that is the way that he probably could have got everybody to comply. Or in reality, he probably would have actually just got shot by my dude or whatever. But
like Andy should have opened, he would have opened back up to the rest of the crowd. Like he's got his back to your guard, his back to
Exactly, yeah.
everybody, and he's flailed. Yeah, I can
and I
understand
mean that was weird. Like his body language just didn't feel like I was really being robbed. It felt like I was dealing with some kind of crazy prank. I thought there had to be like a cameraman about to come out, and that was actually what crossed my head, is like, you idiots, like this isn't a joke. You can't do this as a joke. And I'm thinking it really felt like a joke. But at the same time, I'm seeing my guy with his gun to the guy's head, pretty much thinking, "Oh no!"
So who talk about this kid? Like, who is this kid? Like, what is he? Was he a white dude? Like, what was he?
I think he's Hispanic for sure. Yeah.
He was wearing revenge pants. I feel like he's definitely, he looked like a
Yeah.
fan.
Which is a brand.
Yeah.
It's a brand that like they actually made this shirt back in the day, but they're just a brand that like is associated with a lot of hip hop artists and stuff. And they've done events at our show and stuff. So at our store. So that makes me feel really like this guy was like some sort of deranged fan or whatever. He's wearing a brand that is like kind of a underground brand.
Yo, no, like justifying that shit, but like, I hope he gets the fucking help. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully he's able to turn it around and not do dumb fucking shit. You know, I don't know what else to say about it.
But so many people are like, "Are you going to testify?" I'm like, well, it probably won't matter if I do or don't, right? Like an attempted robbery charge like that, or like with a deadly weapon.
Proof
Or,
and
You know what?
everything.
I don't know.
Fucking testify, bro.
I
Like,
mean, I
I
don't
like
care.
the thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't like. Do you feel like
You should. I made this mistake once. The dude broke into my house and I didn't press
Right,
charges.
I remember that, I think.
Yeah, then he came back 7 times.
What?
And so now he's in jail because we got a restraining order we went through.
my
But like I
God.
didn't press charges and then he came back.
See,
So,
I'm
like,
giving him the benefit of the doubt, thinking that he's just going to be normal like a week from now or whatever. So
it's
yeah,
it's noble. Ideally, yes. Yeah.
So I guess you're right. Yeah, I
But
guess I
people
will
need
press charge.
consequences for their actions. Otherwise, they're just going
that's
to
why.
keep.
But
you know,
I'm
what,
not-
you know what trips me out the most? If, God forbid, this went the opposite way. Man, I mean, like we're all here and we're talking and it's great. And if this went the opposite way and something bad happened, man, this would be a global uproar right now. And I can't imagine the sort of repercussions that, like the ripple effect that would take place on the internet. And like, I just don't think people understand the gravity of what took place, man. And it's terrifying.
And that if you're a streamer or a YouTuber or whatever, that it just seems like such a large percentage of people who put themselves out there for a career end up having to deal with shit like this. Especially me, like, you know, you guys are pretty fucking safe in here, like all trapped away in this fortress. But like, you know, we're in the back of the bike shop. Actually, to be honest, I do most of my streams from my office, which is like a private location that nobody really knows about. And it's like just my office, but then we do it in the back of the bike shop sometimes, just hanging out with the guys and everything. And I mean, up before this, the craziest thing that had happened on stream was when Boont Gang showed up and then proceeded to pass out and smacked his head on the wall. That was.
Oh my God, I remember that. The dude was drunk, yeah?
I mean,
he got memed
he
like
was on pills or something. It was.
What are you gonna do?
I want to find that.
Do you put up like when you go to? You ever been to Matt Zingler's place down in Miami? The little shop he's got that he's turned into like that.
I
little.
haven't. I do
it's
know Matt
new.
though. Yeah.
He's got like a huge like fence with barbed wire around the whole thing,
Really?
and until you get buzzed into that, like you literally can't fucking get in there. So like maybe you, I don't know.
I know. I mean, like it makes me just think like, oh, I'm the type of person that has always felt like, oh, if I have my homie and he's got a gun, then I'm good.
Good.
But then you also like, I've been in situations where like I've been with a rapper and he had a guy with a gun with him, and then they got jumped by 20 dudes, and that gun proceeded to not matter at all.
Or even worse, end up in the hands of the people fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the worst case fucking scenario.
Yeah. So
You have seen so much shit. Can you silence your phone? on your podcast, you've seen. I mean, you've interviewed a lot of people, man, and a lot of heavy hitters. Do you think all the crazy shit you've experienced in your life, I don't want to say prepared, but prepared you at all for like a situation where it is like a high intensity, fast thinking sort of scenario?
I would say in general, because like I was like a BMX dude for like 20 years before I even started doing the rap stuff or the podcast stuff. And I feel like being in all those situations, like I've seen a bunch of people get shot. I've seen people get killed. Like I guess I'm a little bit more jaded to the situation.
I was gonna say, you seem unfazed by things.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like I just have seen a lot of shit. And I mean, to be real, I've had a lot of friends die. A lot of friends end up in crazy fucking situations. And so, I mean, yeah, I guess it didn't faze me, but I always feel like that is like when you go do something crazy for the first time, it just has this jarring effect on you. Like I remember the first time I went to somebody's house, it was like a crazy $30 million mansion. And you're all like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then I went to like my friend's like $30 mansion for the first time the other day. And he's like, you want the tour? And I'm like, no.
Nah, not really. Seen it, done
I know
it.
it's nice.
You know, like, but you get used to shit throughout your
You
life.
can still show us your house later.
If this happened to me again in like a couple weeks, I mean, what is it just going to be?
At the end of the
is
day,
anyone even going to report on it?
I'm sure, but at the end of the day, like we sit here and talk about it now, and people would talk about like what they might do in that situation. But as you know, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the scenario where you're sitting there with a gun pointed at you. Like everybody's always got like, I would do this, I would do that, and then when it happens. You know, you see piss leaking out of their pants because that's happened to me. The girl that I was next to when I got robbed one time peed her pants.
Really?
And like
that would be
rightfully so. It was the dude that I gave my money to because he was that convinced. Yo, this dude was gonna shoot us.
I think you have those conversations because, like, again, God forbid it does happen. At least you had a conversation about what you think you might do. Are you numb? Are you numb to life? I fear this is happening with me.
You answer that.
I was gonna ask on your opinion.
I was talking to someone about this yesterday. Adam more so than me because he's been around all these fun, cool things longer than I have, and you're a little bit older than me. But you know, it's like when you're younger, you're like, oh, I hope I get into this show. Like, I hope I get enough money to get into this concert. And then now you're like getting invited to be backstage at the concert, and you're ushered in, and you're like, meh, it's whatever.
And you can't go anywhere because you're gonna get mobbed by people at the concert.
You're just like,
she used to, when I started hanging out with her, she loved going to festivals.
Yeah.
And then over time,
I was
it's
a raver. Like I love fucking dancing in the crowd, and now I'm like, oh, it's crowded. There's people. I'm gonna like, I don't know. You get jaded.
That sounds like
sucks.
an age thing, though.
You don't think it's because the more exposure you get to it and the more availability you have to it, like the more it's off.
You
know?
get spoiled.
Yeah, you're like, because I'm saying like I used to, put together money to just get a ticket to
Yeah,
something.
she's got
and
money now. She's spoiled.
It's like, no. And now it's like, Adam's like, oh, that festival we're getting in, we're going. And I'm like,
That's
whatever, I
like
don't care that
me.
much.
That's like me. I used to save money to go to Woodward. I was a BMX
shout out to
kid
Woodward.
too, bro.
Shout out
yeah.
Gary Ream.
Hell
Yeah, the whole
Kenan
gang.
Harkin and Dave Mira taught me how to drop in a half pipe, bro.
R.I.P.
On my
Dave Mira.
on my S&M dirt bike.
Wow, that's fire.
Yeah.
I actually liked when you guys were interviewing that fucking gun girl.
Yeah,
And you were putting her on the spot pretty good. That was tight. Just because like so much of the rhetoric that she was spitting out was just so stupid.
She's so far right.
She
She's
was
off
saying
the
that
edge,
gun
bro.
shops should be unregulated. I'm like,
that
that
was
is
a
the
tough
dumbest
one.
argument I've ever heard.
that was-
on
that
a
was-
podcast.
Did you hear what I said to her? I was like,
Yeah.
at what point does your propensity to take money overrule your morals? And then at the end of the show, she's like, Alex Jones asked me to be on a show, and like morally it didn't feel right, but he wrote me a fat check. And I go, do you see what you literally just proved my whole fucking argument?
God.
I wonder how fat the check
Yeah, I
could be to
wanna
go
know
on
about that.
InfoWars. Yeah.
No,
Not that fat.
not
It was
that
probably
fat.
like
Fat to her.
$40 per diem. Yeah.
That was an interesting podcast because she obviously went back afterwards and like had her little review and what she had to say. And all of her supporters were like,
Yeah.
Caitlin Bennett went on and proved the impulsive
Owned her.
casserole. And we're
Oh
like,
my
yo,
God,
That did
no.
not
we just
happen.
want, I don't think it was like a competition. We just want to have a
I mean,
conversation with
it's
the
one
girl
thing to
and-
be like pro gun rights. It's another thing to just have these insane opinions that just have no connection to reality,
Yeah.
Which is how I felt about her.
You've some of the people we've had on.
Who?
You know Riley Reed.
Love Riley.
Oh, we know, right?
know her in the biblical sense. Yeah.
How well do you know Riley Reed, like orifice wise?
You know what's crazy though, actually, is that I interviewed Riley Reed like while she still had a boyfriend like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
damn.
remember like the whole interview thinking like, God, I want to fuck this girl. Not the whole interview, but I was definitely thinking
This
that.
is pre me.
This was before she was around.
Okay.
And then, but she had a boyfriend, so I didn't try anything or whatever. And then they break up. She becomes friends with my girlfriend. And yeah, we've definitely had some good times.
So, how are you cool with that?
How am I? Cool
I have
with
to
that?
ask. Yeah, like,
So I think that he's great and awesome, and I want other people to experience like how great and awesome he is.
Well, you're friends.
Well, yeah.
Not just
Yeah,
any
and your
person.
homies. Yeah.
But how many stranger girls have we fucked together?
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't even remember some of their names.
Yeah. Well, it'd be like that sometimes.
I can't even tell you what their
that's
names
just
were
how
at this
it
point.
goes.
Actually, their names don't matter.
It's just like a fun experience. It's like going to a concert with a bunch of people.
That fuck together.
I think we
No,
have
and
a
it's
little bit of an
fun.
exhibitionist streak because from like
Oh, that's
super
true,
early
too.
on in our time spending time together, we would get drunk and we would start fucking, and then all of a sudden we would be like FaceTiming some girl that we know and like just
Did y'all by chance meet in a room, not fucking, and then like you were both doing your own thing, and like what was the
you wanna- you wanna answer
metamorphosis
this?
like?
Well, I DM'd Adam because I was doing a podcast outreach for this company I was working at. He likes to just be like, oh, she slid
hit me
into my
up. Slid my
DMs.
She
And
did have a good excuse at least.
yeah, I sent you a professional DM. And then he was like, oh yeah, come to this podcast I'm doing and then we'll go have dinner after. And he was just trying to like flex on me. He was like getting interviewed and stuff.
I was actually getting interviewed by
It worked,
Gangsta
though,
Boo
right?
of 36 Mafia, and she was the one like, and she sits me down at her podcast and she's hyping me up. Oh, this is Adam 22. He's so great, blah blah blah. And I'm like looking over at her and I'm just seeing her slowly like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna fuck this guy. And I'm like, nice.
In my head, I was like, don't do it. You like him. Don't do it. You like him. Don't do it. And that didn't work. I went to the diner, had 2 glasses of wine, and then it was all
over.
bad. It was over.
You're in now. You're trapped.
He's much more like reserved. Like that shit doesn't shock me. Like the whole like none of this shit shocks me at all, dude. Like Riley came on and I was like immediately like comfortable with her. Like all of her.
Oh yeah, how could you not be?
Homies,
She's so
like-
just like she just has this like energy about her. She's smiley. She's like wants everyone to feel comfortable and happy about like everything.
Yeah.
I feel
no,
like.
I love Riley, but yeah, she definitely like is, she owns her role. Like she wants to be the girl that's having the most fun, that's getting crazy and shit. So you got to respect it. The
She's-
world needs girls like that.
She's sliding down the YouTuber list right
Oh,
now, bro.
she
is
tweeted at my brother, bro.
rappers,
Oh,
YouTubers.
Oh, she wants to get Jake on the
Yeah.
team.
She tweeted. I wonder if Jake Paul eats pussy, and I was with Jake. You want to hear the list of drafts he had to
Yeah.
respond back?
Oh no! Wait, was it a
There's
no?
so many
a yes?
like good things you could say. to
I
that.
would say that you probably would skip the first one. You said it the first time, it was flat, and I feel like it gets even flatter.
It was just they sucked, so I advised him not to. But she is She's really getting those cloud tokens, huh?
I mean, she's one of the
Lil
people who
Pump.
could give you an honest review of Lil Pump versus Lil Xan.
That's crazy.
That's big.
She needs to get some more Lils, like to keep comparing.
Well,
bro.
I know 'em all.
Lil should be next.
Yeah.
You do know them all, yo.
we like to think she kind of started here. You know what I'm saying? And
It was us and Dobrik at the same time.
yeah.
I was actually honestly surprised that David Dobrik was willing to take his family friendliness
I know.
aside
Well,
long
not
enough
so
to let
far.
him
He
in.
came to the AVN Expo, the porn expo, and he filmed a bunch, but he didn't put like any of it out. So
Yeah.
Oh, really?
he was teetering. He was
What's
like,
he doing with all that footage? That's what we all want to know.
not to put
We
it
gotta
out.
get Dave-
How bad was it?
It wasn't bad. I mean, we were wearing clothes.
You were at
but-
the
wasn't
Vixen.
there,
You were at the
but-
Vixen.
yeah,
shit,
the Vixen
yeah?
booth, and he didn't want to come up because he didn't want to be like on that stage in front of a bunch
That's
of
a
people
meme.
in the crowd.
Give us
David
the-
Dobrik surrounded by all these hot chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us
Yeah.
the dirt. Did Dobrik smash?
Did he?
No,
No. Okay.
no.
too bad.
He won't. He's like obsessed with Liza. He won't do it.
That's the
You
most.
tried?
Me? Everybody's talking about Riley.
That's fucked
Oh,
up.
okay.
No, I was talking about
No.
Ralph.
No, I
that's
think
the-
Riley wanted to smash David, and I don't think he was having it.
But she wants to smash him because he won't have it. Like, you know.
Nah, but she's just trying to get through the lit. Like that's the most asked question I get. He gets asked all the time too. Like, did you? You know?
Yeah.
people ask me that all the time.
I'm not even gonna ask you guys. That's how woke I am.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, yeah.
I don't even
'cause you
care.
already-
I don't even.
shit.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys have done, you're different than us. We're out here
Adam
sex
Adam
working
asked
it.
me once if we broke up, which vlog squad member would you fuck first? And I
It
was
better be
like,
Jason because he's closest in
I was
age to
gonna-
me.
honestly, he's too dorky to be like dad.
I wish it was
think her-
Trisha
no.
before Trisha
No,
left.
I think her answer would be Corinna. Probably.
No.
You can smash Corinna.
Who would
I
it
think-
be? Who would
Oh
it be?
no, we're not doing this. I don't
Sorry,
play. I don't
Tifu.
play this game.
Sorry, Tifu. Tifu.
Tifu.
Wait, what is it?
I think it's
Tifu.
Fu.
Tifu.
No.
Yeah.
How involved are you in the internet community? It sounds like you know your people.
Me or her?
You. Like,
Oh.
didn't you just do Keemstar before you came on this?
Yeah, a little drama alert interview.
And-
but me and
and
Keem
your-
are friends for
your-
a while.
Your Twitter banner is Tanacon. Like, it seems like you know your stuff.
You know, somebody made that for me, and it just seemed really funny. Because before this, I had my brand name on some shit, but people kept tripping out about it because they thought the S's looked like some Nazi shit. Because like
Oh,
in this
no.
font, the
Oh,
S's
no.
did look a little sus. And then somebody sent me the Tanacon one. I'm like, I'm gonna change it. And then I guess
You know,
it's been,
we
it's
did
been like a year.
TanaCon. We had no idea
Yeah.
that there was actually a shit show until
What do you mean you did it?
we were on the fucking lineup or whatever, and we
Okay.
had things. We did like a Q&A on stage, and Tana hosted it, and we actually got through it. We had no idea there was crazy shit
Wait,
going on.
I didn't
was
know
like,
things actually happened.
Right, because
there.
that's the benefit of
We're
us
the
being
low-
like the
lowest-
least clouded up people
Yeah.
on it, is that we got to go first.
You still had your set. You're like, things are great here at Tanaka, like outside
really
World War II.
until the end of that first day, like as the people who are actually involved and like supposed to be entertaining people, we really had no idea that it was so fucked because you see the line outside, but you don't know that the line's not moving. You see a million kids sitting around and just everywhere mobbing you in the building, but you don't know that they're doing that because there's nothing else for them to do.
Yeah.
And that was kind of shocking. yeah.
Another like failed festival that has like a that has a mark with you is Fuzi.
Oh,
So
man, that was a
Fuzi's
great time.
festival went down, but to tie that in with you, the shit that happened with Fuzi on your show was pretty fucking wild too.
I have it.
That
here.
was I remember that.
Him screaming at Sam Pepper was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
This
Yeah.
was actually the first time I saw you, dude.
really. Man, this was like, just look at this.
I'm staring at you in the face and telling you that you missing what I'm saying. If you want to talk outside face to
The
face,
fact that he brags about having gotten a DM from Bella Hadid is like the best thing.
Bro, what are you doing?
I don't want to do anything bad.
Look at you, bro. He's trying to keep the podcast
But
going.
keep in mind that at this point, this podcast has been going on for like 3 hours. It was like 4.5 hours total, I think. And Fusi was just losing it. And I'm just, at this point, I'm just kind of jaded to it. Just kind of.
This is why I ask you if you're numb to life, dude.
Yeah.
There's people fighting behind you and you don't give a single fuck.
You notice I'm wearing the Fusi shirt too, the July 15th shirt. I still have that. I noticed it in my drawer.
But it's crazy. It's crazy to see the difference between that man and the man that just came on our podcast.
Yeah,
Oh, he's so much cooler.
Yo,
now. Yeah,
he
just
like
shut the
I'm
fuck
looking
out.
at him and I'm like, yo, he's changed so much. Like I hope people don't hold that kind of shit over his head forever because he was like He was chilling, bro. He was like, I fucked up. My ego went to my head. Like, I'm willing to admit it.
But the crazy thing is everybody was trying to tell him that
Yeah.
while
Everyone else
it was
knew it,
happening. Yeah. I met so many different people were like, this is a bipolar manic episode. I've seen this a million times. I've seen this happen to my mom. But he was just denying it over and over. She was kind of annoyed because when we went to the Fousey card, she like could tell that I was enjoying it strictly from like a sadistic sense where I just wanted to watch something go
I was
down in
watching
flames.
some-
Wait,
Someone-
you went?
We were there, yeah.
I made a vlog there.
Oh
It was
my
one of the
God.
most fun things I ever had happen to me in my whole
You
life.
seem
I'm
like
not
a,
that sadistic.
you seem like a guy that would be a Fight Club fan. You like that movie?
I did. That movie changed me a lot as a kid because it made me just realize like, that materialism was useless and stuff like that. I felt like getting that message into my head early on was really helpful.
Do you remember when he said they asked him why he did it? And he was like, I just wanted to destroy something beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that's what I feel like. You give me that kind of vibe. Like you just want to watch it burn sometimes.
There's a lot of that. That's why like I didn't vote for Trump, but I can kind of enjoy the Trump presidency to a certain extent because
Chaos.
it's fun watching something just go down in
Go to
flames.
shit,
Decency,
dude.
basically.
Fuck, I hate how true that is. That's why like hating people on the internet is a thing. I think people just love to.
People love watching the canceled downfall of people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many people that like, the Shane Dawson thing. Like,
Oh my God.
Who went and found these clips of Shane Dawson making these jokes 10 years ago? Because, it's not his fans. It's
No,
just
of course
it's
not.
people who want to raise havoc. And it's not like, I'm used to this stuff from like, political research. Like if you were to run for president tomorrow, they're going to find every shitty
They're
thing
gonna
you
dig.
ever did ever. But like, what has Shane Dawson done to deserve this treatment?
Yeah, he just makes
My
fucking
man
good-ass
has to go on
videos.
Twitter and explain how he didn't fuck his cat.
And more so, actually come on it as well.
I don't even know what to say to that. It's ridiculous. I hate 2019. You suck. I thought you were going to be better. Please turn around soon.
We were already getting tied in with Shane at the beginning of the week because we have a documentary coming out, and I got called. We both got called out by H3.
Oh, saying you were
saying
copying
we were
his
copying
idea, right?
Shane Dawson because evidently Shane Dawson's the first person to ever do a fucking documentary, dude.
Right.
Like,
And
great
no one
job
else can do it after.
ever again, dude. Like, great job, Shane.
See, I saw that H3 clickbait and didn't actually click
I clicked it, and so I watched it.
I didn't either.
He didn't watch it.
It didn't work.
I
A
watched
lot
it.
of times I see the clickbait about myself and I don't really feel tempted to click it because I kind of know everything that they could say.
Yeah.
I already covered it, but I thought I knew everything he was going to say. And I watched the end of it today, and he said, I look like I have an 800 SAT score. And like straight up, bro, like I will fucking IQ test one-on-one you, Ethan Allen, any fucking day of the
Ethan
week,
Allen.
bro. I'm dead up, dude.
Isn't
I
that
scored
the
a
clothing store?
yeah,
Stevie-
furniture, I think. I scored like a 130 my last one, and I'll step it up a fucking notch for you, bro. Trust me, dude.
You know,
Trust me.
a dude came into my store yesterday before the robbery attempt and he was rapping, but he had Tourette's. He was like, I'm a rapper, but I have Tourette's. I
That's
want to rap
tight.
for you. And it was making me think that like at least Ethan didn't become
A rapper.
a rapper because he
Oh,
has,
it wasn't good?
it just doesn't. Well, it was
doesn't work?
honestly for having Tourette's, it seemed incredible. Like
I think Ethan has the expression version of Tourette.
oh, okay. Do you feel like that personal animosity towards somebody like him who has sort of like relentlessly picked at your career?
No.
No.
Here's my take. All right. This is end of 2018, 2019 mindset. I don't believe in haters. I don't. I think Ethan is a dude making content, commentating on creators, and that's what he does. Whether or not he says the words, I hate Logan Paul, I don't think that's true. Hate is an incredibly strong emotion. And if you're walking around with actual hate inside you, that says a lot about the type of person you are. And like, I don't believe it. I don't believe him. And by the way, vilify me, make your content, do whatever you want, use me as clickbait. Like I could give two shits about it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Is like there's a lot of people like in the rap game where I know they don't care for me, but I like their content, whether they're
Yes,
a performer
yes,
or whatever.
yes.
And it's like I don't want to be a liar. Like if I sit here and say fuck this dude, but in reality I kind of dig his content. It's just that he's talked shit about me, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go out there and try to convince my fans that he's whack. I feel like that's a short route.
No, it's not even. I wouldn't say I like his content though. That's the thing.
I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
But
I see,
right. But
Just
I do
'cause
like H2's content.
But do you feel like it's because you've been through the ringer? Like,
No, because
At a-
this is a situation where it's all fun and games until the finger's pointed at you, and I don't like to perpetuate people that think that's okay. That sort of energy on the internet mocking the cringe people. Like, I get it. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Not for me to consume though. That's all.
If you had a show mocking the cringe people on the internet, your show would be 24 hours a fucking day. Like if you want to focus on cringiness on the internet, the internet is loaded to the brim right now.
I would love to like just pick people apart because of how shitty their stuff is. I could do it with my own content, but it's just like, it's not a good message. Like it's the people he's making fun of, like, do have to go home and like look at themselves in the mirror and hopefully love themselves. And I don't know, it's not a wave I want to be on.
And the reason why the reason I even brought it up and the reason why I clap back at all is just because this project has been important to us. We put a lot of
it's more important to you. I wouldn't say
maybe it was important to me. You know, it's just a lot. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited to see that. Yeah.
It's
Wednesday.
It'll be different than what you think it's going to be. I mean, take it for what it's worth. But we flew to fucking Denver.
Let me ask you something. Do you think the Earth is flat?
I don't.
Do you think I think the Earth is flat?
No.
I don't. I think that you're a savvy marketer and that you're probably you made a documentary perhaps circulating around this topic, but that you probably don't actually believe it.
Interesting.
That's what I would assume.
Yeah, I would
think
have to
about.
agree with him.
But then again, maybe you do think it. I don't know.
Yo,
I guess we'll see.
Can we go to hip hop now? You have a show called No Jumper, hip hop
Huge,
culture, right?
huge.
Fucking show.
Right.
This is probably the part of today that I'm most excited about. I'm 34, believe it or not. I know I look a little
35,
bit
so,
I know,
yeah.
but I knew we were about the same age.
And kind of from the same area because I'm from New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm from the East Coast too, from Connecticut.
Like Winnipesaukee?
Wow, my grandparents used to live over there. I remember driving up there to visit my grandparents and sort of realizing like, oh, this is what a place with a bunch of drug addicts is like. Because where I grew up wasn't really like that. And we'd go up there and it'd be like, oh, this is white trash.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn. That was for you.
Does that hurt?
What? Where were you
You
talking
have an
about?
800
Lake
SAT score and
Winnipesaukee.
white
Oh,
trash.
that's not Connecticut. He's talking about Lake Winnipesaukee.
Yeah.
Talking about
New Hampshire.
drugs in Lake Winnipesaukee?
I'm pretty sure there's a serious meth and heroin issue up there.
Yeah.
I mean, all of New Hampshire is like
no.
New Hampshire,
over-
Vermont,
yeah,
Maine,
yeah.
Connecticut, that whole East Coast
Oh
corridor.
no.
Ohio too.
I was out of there by the time
paralyzed
I
by
was like
opiates,
19.
You think
but-
my great uncle's doing drugs?
if he's
Probably.
not, he's got to lock his door at night because he's worried about the drug addicts coming and stealing his VCR.
Or he's the one selling them.
VCR.
Or he's
potentially.
selling it.
VCR.
I went
Yeah.
With
fishing
much
there.
respect to all the trappers out there.
So yeah, no disrespect to you
Up in
guys.
Lake Winnipesaukee.
Yo,
man.
so hip hop. Today's hip hop. Give me like a blanket statement, dude. Like you grew up at the same time as me. Jay-Z Volume 1.
That was it.
Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt. Biggie and Nas, Dipset, 50,
Wu-Tang.
2003 comes, 50 drops the fucking hammer.
Oof.
Like I'm thinking
You can find me
98.
in the club.
Wow. I'm thinking
Bottle full of bub.
98 to 2003, the golden age, bro. Maybe. And then people say, these are old heads, bro. I don't look at myself as an old head because I believe in progression. When I found out that you could use a toaster to make your bread toasty, I started using it. What has happened with hip hop is not progression, dude, in my eyes. What do you fucking think, dude?
I mean, I feel like the younger generation of hip hop is always going to try to like refocus the center on whatever they're into. And, you know, I assume you're sort of talking about this like anti-lyrical element that has been sort of personified by people like Pump or Yachty or, you know, various people who have at times basically professed that they don't care about lyrics per se. And that attitude obviously is kind of different than the purist attitude that we think of. But at the same time, I would say that from my perspective, you know, I've been in the studio with Ghostface Killah, and I've been in the studio with Lil Pump. And aside from the amount of ecstasy being consumed, there's not that big of a difference that it's like at the end of the day, people are still going in the booth and spazzing out. And I mean, I guess just at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think that the only thing that could make a rap song good is being like a great lyricist. And in fact, I know a ton of rappers who are really, really good lyricists that their music isn't popular and people just overall don't really give a shit about them because they are lacking in some categories that, like, when you look at the appeal with Lil Pump, a lot of it's image, a lot of it is, you know, just the excitement, the energy. So much of hip hop now is just based on energy. And that's something that a lot of people kind of miss out on.
What about like the content that the industry and like the sport of hip hop was built on, and that like competitive nature, and more so like you said about trappers earlier, like the culture of trapping and the culture of like being on the streets and like making money and hustling. Like we've moved so far away from that now it's attractive to be the addict. Like, could you imagine you ever would have seen that fucking day, bro, where the attractive thing is to be the molly popper, bean popper, where we used to put the dealers on a throne,
Right.
Jay and not like whoever.
But see, this is
and
the
now
thing
it's like
is-
attractive to be an addict, bro.
I've known a lot of like drug sellers throughout my life, and a very large percentage of them do drugs themselves. Like, I mean, if you look at like 3 6 Mafia, is like they were
Drinking
huge
lean,
all through the
yeah,
90s, and
yeah,
they were the first rappers that I ever realized, like, holy shit, they're rapping about doing coke.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know rappers did coke, and that tripped me out. Or like, when I found out that BG from the Hot Boys was a fucking heroin addict,
yeah.
blew my mind. I'm like,
Juvenile
I didn't know
too,
rappers.
I thought. Didn't he?
Was
Was
he?
it BG only?
I think it was BG, but
Yeah.
I mean,
DMX.
I think that the weird thing that's happened is that a lot of rappers have got a lot more honest about what they're actually doing in their life. Whereas like previously you might have been able to sort of hide the drugs that you were doing, and now it feels like it's sort of more in your face. I mean, I hate that trend, like where it's going towards like, and what I hate is the dramatization of people doing drugs, because if you want to be real about it and say, this is what I do and I have a problem, and you're willing to talk about the good and the bad of doing drugs, then I can respect that. But there's certain people who they just love saying Perkies, Molly, Xans, like all that shit. But it's like, do you know anyone who's addicted to Percocets or Xanax or anything? It's a very like not pretty lifestyle.
It's the ugly.
There's absolutely nothing cool or sexy about that. So
Dude,
it's like, if you're gonna talk about that the same way, if you're gonna talk about selling crack, like, all right, well, I want to hear you talk about
the bid
the
you
old
did.
lady on the street who's
Strung
fucking
out.
selling pussy and her
Yeah,
kids are
yeah,
starving
yeah,
and
yeah.
whatever because she's addicted to crack.
I agree.
You gotta bring it full circle.
I agree. And I've personally like seen the ugly side of it. You know what I'm saying? And I've buried very close friends, a ton of them on the East Coast. And I should be in a casket myself after the amount of years I was strung out and addicted to drugs. So when I see it now, and these dudes laughing about how like pretty and cool it is, I guess that's where I get some of my fucking like just, I don't know.
No, yeah, I see it all the time where people just like want to joke around about like I see people joking about how fun taking perks is a lot, like in the rap world. And I'm like, this is like the gateway to heroin. Like this is, everyone knows how this plays out. There's just so much information out there to tell you this is a bad route to go down,
I don't think they care. I don't think they care.
A lot of it is just marketing, or
Yeah.
but when you see like grown ass men saying it, when you see a 16, 17-year-old kid rapping about drugs, he might really just not know better.
That's a little different
Yeah.
because at 16 or 17, I would have rapped about drugs because I didn't know the road it was going to lead me down.
But meanwhile, you're like frying your body, and you're not going to be able to
Do shit.
be happy or
Get a heart, like who knows what
grow.
the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Shifting to talent, like some of the talent you've had on him, X, for example. That whole thing was incredibly tragic. And how long before he passed did you have him on your podcast?
It was like right when his music started heating up on SoundCloud a little bit. Like the song "Look at Me," I think had like 1 or 2 million plays
great
or something.
song.
I think that he had 15,000 SoundCloud followers at the time that we did that interview, and it was very much just like me hearing a couple of songs on SoundCloud, thinking it was dope, and then just he was in town. He said, let's do the interview. I had noticed that he had been getting crazy engagement at that time on Twitter just by saying that he was going to do the interview. His fans were freaking out. And we just did the interview, and I was just astonished by his personality. Like I had just never met like an 18-year-old kid that was like that was that lucid, just like so smart, so open, just being so everything about it, just doing so much shit that I had never like really witnessed from a super young rapper like that. And then I remember when we first started actually dating, we went to IKEA to buy some furniture.
Great first date.
And
It was cute.
It was early on. She was happy, right?
Oh, I mean, a guy tells you to come help him decorate his apartment. He wants to wife you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Anyways, he was like,
or use you for your interior design skills.
Which many women just have.
I mean, it's IKEA. Like, it wasn't going to be that special. But he was driving us back from
Don't you
IKEA,
talk
and he
shit
put
about
on
IKEA.
X. And sorry, IKEA. I love you. You're from Sweden. But yeah, he played X for me. He was like, this guy is it. Like, he is going to be the next big thing. And he used to call you from jail all the time at that time. And I used to get
real?
jealous because you guys said I love you on the phone when you hung up. But you wouldn't say I love you to me. You'd be like, I love you, bro. I love you.
Wow. I do be saying that to
I have
like,
so many
dudes I'm
memories
friends
of you
with.
guys being on the phone together. It was
Really?
early on. Oh, yeah.
I remember one time me and her hooked up with this fucking random Asian girl that we met. And then afterwards, she said something about like how much she worshipped X. And I just pulled up my phone and FaceTime him. And the girl looked like she was going to cry and pass out and faint all at the same time. And he just sort of looked at her and he was like, I'll fuck. Like, you know, he's like, I was smashed. You know?
Did he?
No, I don't think so.
He was,
Shout
he was in
out
Florida.
random
He
Asian
didn't care
girl.
enough to give it a shot.
Shout out random.
Ooh, that Asian girl. Oof, that went sour.
That
She was cool. I
and
guess.
that whole thing was.
No, yeah. I mean, I still remember I was just, and I mean, but imagine me getting to see him go from that to then all of a sudden he gets locked up. And, you know, I'm like realizing when I'm looking at the stats on his interview, like while he's locked up, it goes from getting 1,000 views a day to 80,000 views in a day. And he's locked up. He didn't put out any new music. He didn't go do some new media. There was like nothing that could explain it except for the fact that the fans were actually really figuring out like this dude is it. And then seeing him get out and just get as huge as he got was incredible. And I mean, we did have like, you know, little time periods where we wouldn't be fucking with each other or we wouldn't talk for a month. And then like at the time when he passed, so we had actually really like been getting back into the groove of like speaking on FaceTime a lot. And he had come by my store maybe like
What do you guys
6
talk
months.
about?
Dude, everything, man.
He used to just call and just go on rants, like
Really?
talking at you about all his ideas and
Like industry
he was
shit or like
no.
You know, I mean, he's the kind of guy that like would have a girl and he was like going through something where he was trying to figure out how he felt about the girl or whatever. And he was not shy about calling you and talking to you about this girl for a half hour, you know?
Like homie shit.
Right. But it would never occur to me to like hit you guys up for like girl advice. Like that's the kind of thing that I would never hit anyone besides like my closest friends with.
Yeah.
But and actually when I talk to a lot of people, they all say that about X. They all say like he was just the FaceTime king. He would hit up whoever and just be having these long conversations with him. Like, I mean, this is the thing is when I had that early conversation with X, he said, go on Twitter, not early conversation, but early when he was locked up. And he was like, go on Twitter and say you're my manager. I want you to be my manager. I was like, thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't feel like I'm your manager yet. Like, I feel like we're going to have to sign a contract or something. It doesn't feel like it's real, but I'm going to tweet it anyway. I tweeted it. The next day, I'm having conversations with like, you know, fucking Future's manager and Rocky's managers hitting me up. And like everyone in the game from that one tweet, all of a sudden it started to feel like, because this was really early on with my podcast, I didn't feel like I was really like a part of hip hop. I was just a guy who liked hip hop enough to do hip hop interviews. I didn't feel like all these music industry people should be talking to me.
Yeah.
I mean, and in that way, that was kind of like a big gift from him. Like aside from just knowing him and everything, is that his success was so massive and that interview was such a big reference point for him that early in his career that it was like he gave me a crazy gift by letting me do that first interview. That was one of the biggest things that probably ever happened to me. And then, I mean, for him to get killed in such a senseless way, it's just...
Is there any update on that case, by the way?
I mean, just bullshit that they're still going through. Obviously, the dudes that they caught are guilty as fuck. So, I mean,
they're all getting life.
I don't know if there's really been anything
that is
of substance since.
I don't know why, but that affected me. I mean, a lot of people, but like I think I just hate seeing the amount of potential that he had and life being stripped from him at such a young age. That's fucked, man.
And I mean, the reason why I'm like wearing this shirt right now, or the reason why like all my friends who are tight with him still have like whole sets in their set devoted to him and stuff, is because as much as it seems like a given that everybody's still talking about him right now, I think it's just really important to like keep his name in everybody's mouths and stuff, because that really was like a little brother to me. Yeah. And it's just, to me too, it's like just, he's been so vilified by the media and treated like something he wasn't, and treated as if he was like a symbol of something that he definitely wasn't.
Which by the way, influenced me at the time he died to mistakenly, instead of digging into all the changes he had made to his music, because his music had gone through quite a metamorphosis
and him
as
as a person, bro. Like
and
he just was not a violent person by the time he passed. Like he had gone through so much.
That was one of the times where I literally like basically I had made a statement that was basically something like I had listened to some of his old shit and basically had made a statement something like, you know, a lot of these rappers like live and die by the gun. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. And then I heard some of his newer shit. And so it was one of the times where I kind of kicked myself in the ass and was like, yo, dig in a little bit before you talk. But one death that really fucked with me was Mac, because it was closer to like the place that I was in. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like that whole inability to just fucking get out, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like it wasn't as senseless. It wasn't as like all of a sudden, like everyone knew Mac had a problem. You know what I'm saying? But like that one hit me because I was a huge Mac fan. I always have been too. And it just brought me back to a place where like when I got clean, like 2010, I still maintain contact with a lot of kids I used to run with, and they haven't been able to do the same. You know what I'm saying?
Some shit with Mac is that, like, a lot of the stuff that seems funny or cute early on, like, I seen a video of Mac Miller in the studio, and he's pouring up like a ridiculous amount of lean.
Yeah.
And French Montana's telling him in the video, like, you're gonna stop. Like, you're gonna have to stop doing that at some point. And it's like, that video might have seemed kind of funny. I'm sure like some of his fans liked seeing him pouring up crazy amount of lean like that and stuff. But I mean, all that stuff is just, it's like, you have to recognize it for what it is. It's like, if you have someone in your life that's really abusing drugs, and I mean, I'll be real, I know people that drink lean in a responsible way, that they do it every once in a while and they don't get crazy with it and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I just hate that rap sometimes has this effect of sort of making people think that drugs are all fun and games.
You fuck around with that stuff?
Like very minimally, but I mean, when we first started hanging out, I was doing coke, I was doing Xans, I was drinking a lot. Like I haven't taken a Xanax in like a year and a half, and we don't do coke like that anymore.
What got you to clean up a little bit?
It was when Pete died, honestly. Peep, when he passed away, because he passed away off taking a fake Xanax that was fentanyl.
Yeah.
And
well, that's what's getting everybody.
It just felt like. It just felt so serious, and I was like, I just don't feel like I can ever fuck around like that ever again.
Well, even if it had been real, like people don't pay the respect to benzodiazepines that they should. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's Xanax, Klonopin, whatever, people will be like, oh, fucking heroin, dude. Like, oh, crack, oh, whatever, right? Xanax is probably the most dangerous drug on this planet right now. Definitely the most addictive. And the only drug besides alcohol that you can die coming off of. Right. So if you stop taking Xanax abruptly while you're on it, you can seizure and die. And it happens all the time. Mm-hmm. And so people, I think rap perpetuates that now, especially with how common Xans are and all of that stuff. And so it's like, yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, whatever your feelings are on drugs, they're out there, they're available for you. Just understand that if you do them, you may fucking die, dude. Like you may die, your friend, something bad can happen. Yeah. No matter how well you know your connect, no matter how well you've gotten the same shit from him every fucking time for 20 times, the 21st time might not be the same. Yeah. And that's just the world we're living in, like fentanyl is killing people every fucking day, thousands of people. Become the leading cause of accidental death in America.
And there's so many rappers that like their drug regimen, and if you read like they just put this Rolling Stone article about Lil Peep and how he passed, it's like, he not him necessarily, but like people he was on tour with were basically just getting pills from whoever every night on tour. Damn. I mean, shit, that lifestyle is not gonna, and I know a lot of people, a lot of rappers or a lot of random people who like that is nothing to them. Like they'll buy fucking drugs off anybody.
It happens. Well, I think at some point the problem is like people start off experimenting, and then I think once you get to a certain part, you can almost see the moment it happens. People adopt this fuck it mentality. Like they get to a point where they've either been addicted, they've something like all these horrible things have happened, and they say, you know what? At this point, like I remember when Mac dropped Faces, the mixtape Faces. And every song was like, I bet I'm gonna die before I detox. Like that was his lines in the songs. Wow. And literally he was saying it into existence. Like he's like, I'll probably die before I detox. Like all of his songs were about his funeral, were about like birthday, everything.
I actually stopped even like with manifest jokes about my death because of that exact phenomenon. Yeah. And I think it even happened with X maybe, but like I don't joke around with that anymore, because I think if you put something out into the universe, like, and God forbid that it does happen. Like,
I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with my own death, and it really gets on her nerves.
You're just like, I'm not scared of death. It's all good. I'm not scared.
No, but the difference between being scared of it and like
and constantly
like ruminating,
willing it into existence.
I just talk about it as if it could happen any minute. And well, like, I mean, she really doesn't appreciate
obviously,
that.
It could have. It almost did. Yeah. So, and that makes...
It's because I love you so much.
See, the thing that like strikes me about it is like, I feel like, I mean, I'm probably similar to you in a lot of, like, I don't know if it's just from the BMX background and age or whatever, right? But like, you strike me as the kind of person, like, I try to like laugh about shit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
I can't change it. I'm gonna fucking die. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We're all gonna die, but we don't
think
need to talk
for
about
sure,
it.
for sure.
I mean,
I think getting it out there in the open could be good. You know,
I'm gonna die. You're gonna die. He's gonna die.
Like
He's
my
gonna die. It's all
grandmother,
good.
dude, she's like 90, whatever years old. She's like, when I die, I'm like, Grandma, please stop. She's like, no, let me finish. When I die, I want you to bring a bottle of Jameson. So, I don't want any funeral, none of that bullshit. I want you and your friends to get drunk, tell jokes about me, and remember how I was when I was happy.
you know
Like,
what's
that's
weird
it.
about this whole like fake robbery shooting thing is that it kind of feels like I died, but I didn't. But like I'm kind of getting everybody hitting me up as if I died, but like it's like I almost died. 'Cause everybody's hitting me up like, "Are you okay?" They just like can't believe it.
What if this-
and I'm
bro.
kind of like, those are the people who are gonna be freaking out when I actually die.
Yeah.
Bro, when I hit you up, wasn't even thinking about the podcast. Was just a great idea. That was like a genuine.
That was
like,
actually I was like, hey, it's a good time. Let's do the podcast.
I was like,
Thank you,
I was like,
bro.
oh, that's wow. Oh, shit.
Adam's maximizing on the clout
No,
points for
whenever-
from this near-death experience.
I saw that, by the way. You were doing so many interviews, bro. Cash out. But,
TMZ, Keemstar, Logan Paul.
Yeah, bro.
What's next?
It's almost like you're doing in reverse order of relevance right now.
I don't know if I'm gonna do that to Keemstar right now.
no,
I don't hype him up that much.
That he beat TMZ.
we got to get this up before Keemstar posts his thing, which is going live.
we-
we got him in the flesh. So fuck you, Keemstar.
Well, also, we think we're gonna. Are we trying to fire this off or what?
Yeah.
We're trying to fire this off today.
But yeah, no, I mean, I just want to clarify real quick about the death thing.
Yeah.
Death thing. Example, like before I go skydiving, I used to go, I hope my chute opens this time.
Yeah.
I don't say that anymore
Yeah.
because it almost didn't open one time, and it was terrifying. So, anyways, back. on
You know what
track.
the weird thing is the weird thing is that in my position or your position, it's like most people go through life, nobody wants to kill them, so they don't have to worry about it. In our position, it's like people want to kill us.
Yeah.
You know, there's
that-
people who probably really want to kill you, and maybe they're not so motivated that they're gonna scale the fence and they're gonna actually get in. But it's just reality. It's like I know people want to kill me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Old me would have taunted right now, but like I just again I don't even want to play with that.
Right.
I don't want to even like tell him you won't fucking do it.
You won't get past
But I'm
the
not
pit
gonna do-
bulls, the C4, the machine guns, the sentry, the turrets, the fucking moat.
We got
Yeah.
snipers on the roof.
This place is like Hogan's Heroes in here. It's just set up everywhere. Yeah.
Nah, but you never know, bro.
There is a reference that nobody's watching this is gonna get.
Hogan's- I mean,
Heroes.
I haven't even seen that show. I
Me
remember
neither.
them making fun of it on The Simpsons.
It's like when
and
I
shit.
talk about like Mr. Ed or like Green Acres because I used to fuck with Nick at Night
Yeah,
like
Nick
heavy
at
when I
Night.
was a kid.
Yeah.
Hey, and
must
then
be a
one day
generational
you
thing.
think it's all good, and then all of a sudden you're dating a girl who's never seen Seinfeld.
I have seen Seinfeld. I cannot tell you any references. It was like one episode.
Yo,
She's seen it now.
one thing I do want to talk about. It's drug related, but it feels different. You vlogged an acid trip.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
I want to talk about it because like I've written a book, by the way, and it hopefully will release at some point in the next few months. But I talk a lot about how I kind of have drugs separated, and like I still very much believe in the value of psychedelics and hallucinogens responsibly, done under supervision or maybe just like occasionally. But
How much did you do?
Whatever the guy from the bar gave me, because
that's
yeah.
not what I mean
This
by
is
responsibly.
2016, Adam,
That is
let's be
not
clear.
correct.
irresponsible. I was at the bar getting loaded with my friends the night before, and to be real, he's like a friend of ours that just is like a pretty respectable drug dealer, but he sold us or gave us acid, and then the next day we were like, dude, let's just go out in the woods. And I actually had my friend Alfredo, who does not do, I mean, I guess he does drugs a little bit, but he doesn't do acid, and so he came with the vlogging camera, and I had a whole bunch of like realizations. At one point during it, I just go, Jurassic Park was a vlog about dinosaurs.
Which in fact it was.
But hold on. Hold on.
I never would have been able to
hold on.
arrive at that.
But then wouldn't every movie just be a vlog about the plot?
yes,
Yeah.
but that's what he said.
And that's
So
what I
everything's
said.
a vlog.
Even in that, I was like, if you really think about it, Casey Neistat is basic as fuck because he's just making Jurassic Park with no dinosaurs. He hasn't gotten to the dinosaurs yet.
Can we talk about the positive changes you made in your life after you did that?
Right,
Because
yeah.
I feel like people need to know why we respect psychedelics
Right
a little
after
bit
that, I got
more.
a girlfriend and chilled out. Yeah.
You lost 20 pounds. You moved out of your fucking shithole BMX house with all your friends. You grew up a little bit.
Got a girlfriend.
So did that push you to kind of think about things a little bit?
I felt like it really
That's
pushed
what it
me
does.
to
That's
view
what it-
my life from an outside perspective and be like, yo, your content could be better. You could look better. You could be doing better. You could present yourself better, like everything, which was tough because it was me up till 9 a.m. just ripping myself apart in my head. Like, well, once the fun part was done, because we were up on the mountain hanging out with the boys. That part was fun. Then I get back to my house and I can't fall asleep and I'm just torturing myself in my brain for like 8 hours.
That's always the bed after. By the way, do you want to hit the disclaimer? There's a good chance all of this will get caught.
No.
But do you want to hit the disclaimer to cover it?
Yeah. Don't do drugs, kids.
That's perfect.
I have to say something if it's okay.
Yeah.
There is a 99-cent ebook on Amazon that is supposedly written by you and I bought it, and it's a story about Ty Lopez.
Is it good?
Someone sent it to me one day. They're writing.
What did you just say? What are you saying right now?
There's a story supposedly written by you and I on Amazon. It's a 1-page ebook, and it's called it has like a sexual cover on it. The woman who was writing like a story about me, she was like looking for stuff about me on the internet, and she's like, "What is this?" And she sends me a link to some Amazon ebook
that we co-wrote.
Someone's just trying to make $1 based on our name.
Hey, wait, what about Ty Lopez?
I bought it to see what it was about. I didn't even read it. I just saw Ty Lopez.
Why did you bring the book?
It's in my phone. It's an ebook.
Can you send it?
What's it called?
I can't remember. It's like the art of sex or some shit like that.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Is it good?
I didn't read it.
Oh, I'm reading that.
I bet it's like some guy in Kenya, and
Yeah,
he's like
exactly.
he's sort of like generating, like he has like a
Words,
program
English
that
generator.
generates fake books,
Yes.
and then like if somebody buys one, boom, he's got $1. He's
What an
hyped.
odd combo.
And he's set for life.
It's just a
for a
guess.
book.
I don't know.
To write a book.
Yeah, it's one page.
Huh.
Damn.
Anyways, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I forgot that I
No,
wanted
it's
to tell
fine.
you that really bad.
No,
I
that
actually
is
want
big.
to.
That's
Actually,
big.
now that you jumped in, let's talk to Lena a little bit too,
Yeah,
bro.
so that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm down.
Pornhub Celebrity of the Year.
Yo, listen, but how does that work? Because you're not a, like,
You're
I
not a
wouldn't
porn
call you a
star.
porn star.
This is the question that I just always talk about with people. It's like, I've talked to people in the porn industry who are like, nah, you shouldn't say you're a porn star. Then I've had people in the porn industry say, what, you think you're too good to be a porn star? You don't want to say you're a porn star? Are you shaming sex workers?
No, because our publicist banned us from having porn stars.
So clearly
on the
I'm a
#1
YouTuber,
podcast.
obviously.
You're a YouTuber today.
But I just think I'm like a internet influencer, and it's like a general term, internet celebrity, internet.
But how do you
influencer.
make money?
I sell nudes and nude videos on Snapchat.
Premium sense. So for people that don't know, that's how Riley is making most of her.
Yeah, I've been doing this since
Riley does real
2016.
porn, but then also does the private snap thing.
Yeah.
She is like private snap and then also does some camming. But like,
Yeah.
Okay.
now a girl like Riley, she goes and does real porn. It's kind of like an advertisement for her Snapchat because
Because the Snapchat's where the real money's at. Don't let any porn company play you.
How much money are you making a month?
go
Dad,
vague.
do I talk about this?
I would go vague. That's my only
Go
advice.
big.
say less than a certain amount,
More than most people make a year.
and then
per
less,
month.
Per month.
and then less than how much is in Fort Knox.
Between 50 and 100K a month.
You're ranked 16 on Pornhub right now.
Yes.
She was like number 5 the other day. right?
By the way, Mark.
Every time I put out a YouTube video, my Pornhub rank goes up. It'll probably go up after this podcast.
Hey, wait, that's what I was just about to say. Mark that, because when we brought Riley on, she was number 3.
Really?
She's number
then-
1 now.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Oh shit.
Wow.
All right,
Cloud helps.
But okay, so how are you cool with this?
Are you looking at my profile right now?
No.
Oh.
When I met her, she was making like,
I was 20
Yes.
grand in debt.
right, and was making not a lot of money at all. And
Arsenic wasn't paying the bills.
not well. But she was trying to like, she was like open to the idea, but I think she wanted that little extra confidence boost of like, should I do this? And I said, yeah, fucking, you got to do it.
At that point, I was pretty like popular on Snapchat and Instagram, and I knew I was going to be successful at it just because the numbers were right. But if I didn't have that guarantee, I wouldn't have jumped into
Have you always
full
been
nude.
like a sexual person?
I think I've always been like open-minded. Like I was like kissing girls in high school and stuff. I had a girlfriend before, just been like open sexually, but outwardly online, no. It was definitely like okay, I'll post a photo in like a festival outfit, and then I'll post a photo in a bikini, and then slowly but surely like it evolved into me having threesomes with him and it going on Pornhub.
Y'all-
That's the evolution I like to see.
Yeah.
We asked a question on yesterday's. I don't know if it ends up making it into the pot, if it will or not, but I'll ask you guys again. Where's the weirdest place you guys have ever done whoopee?
Wow, that's an interesting question.
I love
Tell
that.
me you know.
Actually. I love
You never heard someone say whoopee.
And I would never say it, but I kind of said it for you because you remember like what was the show where where he would ask questions and there would be like couples, like blind date,
Oh, okay.
whatever. Anyways, answer the
Weirdest
question.
Did you get the
Place, though.
whoopee reference?
I love it.
Oh,
Done
okay.
whoopee? I'm gonna say that from now
I
on.
just-
It's
I
a
didn't hear it
TV
before.
for people who know. It's a television
What do you mean
term
done
from
whoopee?
like way
Done what?
back.
Right.
When you have
That
sex,
makes
you don't
sense
go.
to me.
You don't go.
No.
Maybe it's just
so
me.
try to trick the
little
other,
different
trick
than
the
that.
person into thinking that the cops are here.
Weirdest
You gotta
place.
go home. Let me get you an Uber.
I gave him a blowjob while we were watching the sunrise in the Caribbean at like 6 a.m.
And I filmed it, and it's on her private snap right now.
Which you can see at.
Wait, that's incredible.
It was okay. I mean,
I don't know if
there was
that's
like no one
weird.
around. A little one runner came by, but
I don't know if that's weird. I'm
not-
talking weird. Like put me in some sort of, I don't know.
For
like,
reference, I used a porta potty at Ultra.
See, we've never gone like
That's
super
disgusting.
grimy
That was
public.
gross.
We've never really gone like super grimy public.
I got my ass eaten on the dance floor at Warwick 2 New Year's
that's
ago.
what I'm talking about.
That was-
By a
that was-
stranger girl.
That was by some girl.
That's exactly what we were looking
Incredible.
for. Eli, did you see this happen? Can you vouch for this if you're watching?
I filmed it and
Oh.
put it on Snapchat.
Are you
Okay.
just filming everything?
I mean, that was definitely something I wanted to film. It was.
He definitely talks about it for like the next week and got a super boner every time he did. He loves
I'm
girls
still
eating
thinking
ass.
about it. It's still
Can
kind
you-
of like
what's this-
seeing that, and then the fact that we didn't hook up with that girl, even though she was whatever.
Because she
still-
ruined my night.
Okay, let's not talk about that. She, still you kind of had that in your head, like, damn, like that would have been cool to see her like really get to.
We get
dig
so
in.
many bitches thrown at us that I get my picking, so I didn't really like her.
How
enough.
many girls are too many girls?
For like a sex thing?
Yeah.
Maybe me plus 4. That's probably the max.
Well, we have done that, and that. Yeah, I don't know if there were more girls. I don't know what the fuck they would have been doing.
So it was you and 5 girls.
I guess it was that.
You're really
yeah.
doing it, huh, guy?
I'm trying, I'm like out here just trying to live my life. Average 35-year-old white guy,
Ah, man.
hanging out
At
with
this
Lil
point,
Pump. And,
nah, you're above average, man.
Are you getting
Yeah.
are you getting tired at all? Like, are you
No.
slowing? No. You got that.
Not really. I mean, there's parts of me like for a long time, like my lifestyle would be like, I'm getting up 9 o'clock and then I'm going till 3, 4 in the morning, whether I'm like out partying or I'm in the studio with a rapper or whatever. Like now it's like more like, okay, I want to get home at midnight so I can actually sleep for 8 hours and like hang out with my girlfriend and then go out back to work in the morning, because now it feels like, I want to actually have a life that I'm like enjoying and not just 100% just pushing myself to the brink every day. Because I just don't feel like that's like ultimately healthy for me at the end of the day. I went through the periods in my life where I was getting 2-3 hours of sleep every night, and I just don't think it's worth it. I think that, actually making time for the 6, 7, 8 hours is like, if you can get 6, it's great. If you can get 8, it's better. Like that time of like rest is just going to supercharge
There's some
day.
people I know that don't like Purple and this dude in Miami, one of the promoters there, like whatever, he don't sleep. Like he'll sleep like 2 hours. He'll go to bed after like 11 at like 5 in the morning, and he'll be at like yoga at 7. He's like, I don't need sleep.
I don't
I'm
get
like,
that.
bro, it's going to catch up.
Listen,
to you. I'm
yoga-
telling
He's
yoga's
you.
shedding
good
years
for you.
off his life.
I'm telling you.
Yoga is good for you for sure, but if you are choosing between an hour of yoga or an hour of sleep, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure the sleep is
Yeah,
more important.
absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hey, I got a question. Why NW Melly?
Yes.
This situation where this dude allegedly, damn, what a shift of energy. Allegedly,
I think when you say the word allegedly
What?
for anything in life, it automatically drops the tone. You know what I'm saying?
already know what
allegedly shot his 2 best friends in the car, and I know you had him on your podcast. And didn't you tweet Free Melly or something?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I tweeted that because number one, I've been friends with the dude for a while. Like before he got out of jail the last time, I've just, I'm friends with his manager Track, and like, just met him on some really like low key shit before he had like turned into anything. And so, he came in the game with a murder charge. Like that song "Murder on My Mind" is about like a situation that he was dealing with before these dudes. He allegedly did this to these dudes. And when I say Free Melly, it's like the same thing when I say Free Take-A, as in, I hope they're not guilty. I hope they're exonerated. If he's guilty and he's got to deal with it, okay, cool. But it's like, for me, a lot of people in the rap game, it's weird because they see a rapper get arrested and they basically want to be the judge, jury, and executioner right there. Boom, he's guilty. It's like, I've seen a shitload of people
That's why I
get
say
arrested.
allegedly.
No, good job.
And I don't know if he did it or not. I do know that I have apparently met those dudes multiple times before that happened. I didn't really think anything too much about him or whatever.
You know the story. It's like it's turning out to look kind of fucked up.
The more I hear about the story, the more I'm like, fuck, it kind of sounds like he's guilty. But then at the same time, I'm just hoping that maybe there's something going on that we
Would
don't
you
know
ever do
about.
a "Don't Free Melly" tweet?
don't free Melly. Nah, because even if he has to learn his lesson and go in and go to jail for 20 years, it's like, all right, cool. But like, I would still support him. Like, I mean, I know people who have killed people for real that I'm friends with, and I'm like,
So you
deal
okay?
with it.
We had this conversation, I think, the other day. Should the art be separated from the artist or not?
This is R. Kelly question right here.
Well, I will say that, I mean, for me, I ain't turning off Michael Jackson or R. Kelly. We still listen to whatever the fuck. Like, that doesn't bother me. Like, I'll listen to it for sure. The same way I'll still sing Happy Birthday, Lisa every time I watch The Simpsons. And Michael Jackson's not going to kill that for me either. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could definitely see, like, having to separate the art from the artist in certain situations. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like lying to yourself about how good some of those R. Kelly songs are, it's like, you really trying to deprive yourself of that?
Of Ignition on a Friday night.
That doesn't.
I think there's like
work,
different
man.
ways to still enjoy the music, but not like
I'll
maybe
tell you
go to
how.
his concert
I'll tell you how.
and not
You
maybe
listen
buy his.
in your car with the
Nah.
windows up.
You listen to the hook, and that's it.
All right, think about this. I worshiped Tupac as a kid. Think about what it would be like for Tupac out here if he had gotten.
Via
Tupac
Twitter.
went to jail for murder or for rape, excuse me. And I mean, I don't think Tupac was guilty of that. I feel like the whole situation that's come out or whatever seems like it sort of exposed that as maybe not having happened. But think about the way the media would have reacted to him. Like, and why not? Why do we not have people trying to expose Tupac? It just feels like it's like kind of useless. And like, to me, it's like, with all the shit they said about X, I believe that X didn't do that shit. I believe that he didn't beat the girl up, but say he did, like, you're going to really like make that the focal point of his entire existence because he maybe allegedly beat up a girl.
Well, you know that people will make even less than that a focal point of people's existence. Like, I mean, the way it is now, I mean, you could, man, like if somebody had video of you killing an ant on the way out of a fucking podcast,
done.
you
You're
may
done.
be the ant killer.
You're
You
done.
know what I'm saying? Like, they're shutting people down for anything. But like some of these dudes, like Take Hayes' case is fucking crazy, bro. That dude was just
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what's going on with that. I'm like,
Allegedly.
I've had conversations with him on the phone from prison. I'm like friends with his management and shit. But I hope that again that he's not guilty. But then it would seem that all the people that he was with have pled guilty, so it's not looking so good right
and
now.
6ix9ine obviously too, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but he ain't shit. Yeah,
Why do you say that?
because he snitched. So at the end of the day, he bailed out on the.
Yo, what
life.
are your thoughts on that? Do you think that seems like a pretty big first of all, snitching is never okay via the code of the streets.
Right.
Like if you snitch, you're done.
And
like,
people
yo,
are going to
like,
act like I'm a hypocrite because I was just talking about calling the cops on the dude who ran up on me. The difference is that 6ix9ine chose to join a gang
Yeah,
that he
you
knew
did-
was a
yeah.
criminal organization. And when you make that decision, like if
You're
me and
buying
you decide
into
that
it.
we're going to sell coke together,
Yeah.
we're going to fucking start shipping bricks out, all good.
Oh, do you know how
but then
many-
if I get caught and I say, nope, it was him, then I've committed a grave faux
there was
pas.
nothing more fun to me than giving misinformation in interviews. It happened to me. So who's your connect? You this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. I don't fucking know, dude. You think I know my connect's name?
You think
Crazy? And so like, yo, to see 6ix9ine do that now, by the way, not against some fucking dude in Connecticut, but against the entire fucking organization, bro. That scares me. Like, yo, like, I don't know, would he have been better in fucking in celebrity
prison?
segregated,
But
jail?
the whole thing though is that like when you think the Bloods, you usually think of this as like real organization. But I mean, he caused a huge amount of infighting within the Bloods because those dudes that he was with, like, were blatantly beefing with all the Bloods out here in LA. I mean, there was a reason why he was rolling around with that massive security force is because there was a lot of people who wanted to kill him out here. So, I mean,
The last time we saw him, we talked about this before at Hyde. We saw him probably a week or so before he got indicted.
right.
He had the whole fucking police force with him, bro. He was literally by himself. Something tells me he knew the hammer was coming down, bro.
Yeah, because he had just
was-
cut ties with everybody. I
Yeah.
think he sensed it, even if he hadn't actually been given the information. Because, and what's crazy with me with 6ix9ine is I feel like I've known him longer than anybody. Because I met him super early on. He crafted the weirdest plot to try to like get around me super early on when he had like 15,000 followers, and then he just gradually just kept building it up from there. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, at the end of the day, his respect is done in rap.
Is,
You know,
I was
he's
gonna
gonna
say,
have
is there a
to.
return for him ever?
There might be, but it's going to be like as a very, very different character. I feel like he's going to have
How?
to come back.
He's got
as
6'9" tattooed on his face.
like a Christian, like he puts a cross
something
over
like
it.
that. He's going to have to do the mace thing and just run off and be a pastor
pastor,
or something.
yeah.
He's going to have to find a new gimmick to sell
Oh, 'cause
because the
he can-
gangster thing ain't going to work
Gone.
anymore. Yeah,
Gone,
that's over.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's if he makes it. I mean, how do you come back though? If you like, he's got to leave and go into witness protection, right?
I mean, probably not. Like witness protection is for people who have like at least a prayer in hell of being anonymous. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean,
with
does
him,
he
right?
change his appearance, have the shit lasered off?
I
Because
think-
listen, how does he go back to fucking New York, bro? How do you walk in the
that's a bad
streets
idea.
or even in fucking like LA? How do you walk down the street even with 10 bodyguards when you have the size of the price that's about to be on that man's head, bro?
Yeah. I don't
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, I was actually talking to Chief Keef earlier because he hit me up very concerned about the attempt on my life. And I was like, hey, it's funny, you know, they tried to kill us both this year because, you know, the whole thing with the
Chief
6ix9ine
Keef,
is
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And Chief Keef said, man, they ain't trying to kill me. They was shooting at the sky. Because like apparently when that happened, he said the guy like didn't even look like he was trying to hit him.
Yeah.
Which kind of
it was just all for clout.
it was for probably like, oh, I'm getting paid $10,000 to do this. So
Just to scare him.
well,
No, he was getting paid
he was going to
10,000.
get credit for shooting at him regardless, I think. And then, you know, credit for to be paid. But I think he was supposed to get 20K and then he only got 10 is what I read in the police filings.
That he got underpaid by 6ix9ine?
He got paid half of it because he didn't hit him.
Oh, because supposedly 6ix9ine also didn't never came through with his contract with Fashion Nova because in that, I think it was the song with Nicki.
Yeah.
He was supposed to drop a Fashion Nova verse
But you want to know
and
why
then he took it out.
But he
Tell
took
me.
it out because Fashion Nova is Nicki Minaj's ops because Fashion Nova and Cardi B are fucking
That's
gang.
right.
gang.
That's
Yeah.
why he
But that's
fucking
why he
said
took it
that.
out. And that's the
right,
same
dude.
reason why, okay, there's a Cardi B song that has the Migos on it on her album. And that song was supposed to have Future rapping the Migos verse. Like the Migos wrote it for Future, you know, exposed. But then it didn't happen because Nicki Minaj said basically like, Future, you're not going on tour with me if you go and do a song with Nicki. Because
Cardi.
their beef with
Yeah.
Cardi.
Yeah.
Damn, that's real.
Yo, it's so crazy to see brand deals cause beef and hip. Like, yo, the world
Fashion
is
Nova.
the world is all fucking up, bro.
You know.
Everything's getting crazy out
But if
here.
you're Fashion Nova, I mean, you want to ride that Cardi B train so
Yeah.
it stops. Like
Yeah,
they're
for
not
sure.
trying to get on the Nicki Minaj wave because that's only going to lessen from here, most likely, unless she hits her Beyonce wave and
Yeah.
she becomes more of a big prospect
Yeah,
as she gets older.
Cardi's
Cardi's
got
it
it.
right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, for them,
which I've had my thoughts about already on the podcast about.
we have actually the president of the Cardi B fan club right here.
Oh, you love her.
I love Cardi
Hey,
B.
same.
I mean, her confidence is something that everyone should just strive for, and I admire it. Like
Yeah.
more so than like her music and whatever, anything else about her. It's like she's just herself. You know, there's no
I would
running
love
that
to
Instagram
see
account.
her. I will say this because I fucking said it. I
Just tread lightly.
I spoke
Just be careful.
on that and about his change. I would love to see Cardi. This is all I'm gonna say.
Same, by the way.
Use her, see her
Yeah, I'd
live.
love to see her, yeah.
I'd love to see her say, okay, I have one of the biggest platforms in the world. I think I'm gonna just like, maybe there's something different I could talk about than like the proper way to eat a girl's asshole.
Nope.
Do you think that's all
Not
she
the brand.
talks about?
Not the brand.
It's not her brand.
No.
you mean? No, but I'm just
I want to see
like,
Cardi B.
She's making
being
anthems
Cardi
for
B,
girls
and
like
that's it.
like
Yeah.
who just want to be free and be themselves
Be
and dance in the
fucking
club
women,
and
yo.
know that it's okay and still have a man who wants to hold her down and she could have a baby. She could be a bad bitch.
Do you
all at
think
the same
there's
time.
a point where like where when like 9 and like 11-year-olds and like 13-year-olds, maybe they shouldn't even be listening to her, but we know that like girls are starting to
I listened to Christina Aguilera when I was 9,
and
you know, and
but
she
her
was,
shit was much more subliminal. Is there a point where she says, okay, like maybe I should act like Beyonce does, for example. Maybe I should empower these girls instead of like be like, yo, I want you to go out, get your ass eat, get on that stage, bitch.
what is she,
shake that-
25? I mean,
I don't know. I'm just asking.
But
I'm not making any judgments.
Why are we holding Cardi B to that standard when we don't hold any other female rappers to
Yeah.
that standard, and we don't hold
I guess-
any
I
rappers?
guess my-
period,
I
to
guess
that
my
standard?
question
just 'cause
is-
she's
Nicki
super
Minaj has
successful.
Maybe
crazy
that's-
lyrics
and
too. I mean,
Maybe that's my question, and maybe I'm wrong, and that's why I'm not only treading lightly, but I'm asking. I'm not making any statements. Is there a place where you get so successful and you have such a large platform that you also garner so much responsibility?
I do think so, and I think that even with us, we all have hit that at various points in our career. Like I used to just be able to talk about taking drugs and it just like wasn't a big deal. And then all of a sudden it's like, you're a role model to all these young kids.
Unfortunately, you become one.
Yeah,
and even if when you didn't want to become one. And so, by the way, like Cardi's not telling people to go out and do drugs or shoot or do any of that stuff. So, by the way, like, explore your sexuality. I don't
Also,
know.
You're being a trick ass hoe.
Sit down with Rap
Maybe I'm
Genius.
being a trick ass hoe, dude. You know?
Sit down with Rap Genius and take a look at Nicki Minaj's lyrics on her
Very
songs.
similar.
She is really encouraging the prescription pill usage. She's talking about Percocets way more than anybody ever. And people don't talk about it, but she's out here just rapping about pills like crazy.
You have to link me later because I
Listen,
did
I
not
pay
know.
attention. I know.
Yeah.
Damn, I feel like you kind of just changed. Like maybe I should go listen to some more. of this shit,
Bro.
dude.
You know who's
Album of the year.
you have a point.
I don't know. Maybe
You have a point. You know who's adopted that mindset? I feel like sort of well recently is Pewdiepie actually.
90 million subs.
90 million subs. Congratulations! But I feel like he's also sort of embodying now more than ever that he is YouTube's top creator, an English speaking and for the most part creator who
Weirdo Euro guy. Not an American.
English speaking sort of with an accent. He's just like I see him embodying being a leader and a role model more than I ever think he cared for.
It's like once you get to a point where, this craft and this thing that has given you your life and taken you off the stage or whatever has started to buy you private jets, has started to put you on fucking stages speaking to women. Like at what point, not rapping, speaking about women's empowerment, that kind of shit. Like at what point does your platform get so big that maybe you start to, and maybe she has, by the way, maybe her next album comes out and it's got less get your ass on the pole, girl, shake that shit for singles. Let that man fuck you because he's only fucking you. Fuck. Like, I don't know. And by the way, am I being like a...
But okay,
A trick ass
I
hoe.
haven't
I'm being a
done
trick ass
I
hoe.
already said it once.
you say, and then I got something after.
There's girls like me, there's girls like Riley. We're comfortable with our sexuality. There's so many girls who DM me all the time. Like, I had a thought about kissing a boy and I became so guilty and shameful about this thought. They're shaming themselves for having sexual thoughts.
Right.
And so those girls might need to hear the message that it's okay to be sexy and to be yourself.
And Cardi B, I feel like, has rapped about stripping and made stripping sound cooler and more empowered than any girl I've ever heard rap before. And I will admit that I meet a lot of like young girls who seem like they are probably partially stripping because of like cultural forces like Cardi B. But I do think it's important that there's like a figure like her who is making it clear that like, it's okay to be empowered as a woman. You don't have to just sit back and like take life as it comes. If you want to go out there and get money, you can do it.
Yes,
and
yeah.
She talks about stripping like all these dude rappers talk about selling drugs, which granted, neither is like the ideal way to go through your life maybe. But I just think that she like depicts herself as a hustler and that stripping was one of the ways that she hustled and that now she's here. And like, I like the way she frames it.
And how dare I, like, honestly, I'm saying this, like catching myself, like go and say that she can't hustle when I came up with Jay and I came up with
You gotta
fucking
hold them to
Biggie.
the same standard.
And I agree. And by the way, like that angle was it just impacted me. Like I'm not even playing literally, but like, I don't know. I guess like
You ever consider being a psychiatrist?
No, he needs one. He can't be one.
I don't think so. No.
Sounds like you've affected Mike.
No, that was good. It was good. But like, I guess like as I get older and like I hate doing this because I'm not I don't act as a role model. Like I'm very fucking real about shit I've done and shit I continue to do.
But you know what
I'm
I do
saying?
want to say? Rico Nasty. That's my favorite female rapper. And she's
Rico
incredible.
She's awesome.
Did I just see something about her?
Probably
Probably.
because she's been at South by Southwest killing it.
Yeah.
She's friends with her
I
too,
love her.
but she's amazing. And
Nasty.
she is like a very, there's another girl who's coming out right now, Megan Thee Stallion, who's really amazing.
Okay.
But she's a little bit more like in the like Nicki Cardi lane or whatever. But Rico Nasty's doing something that's like very different in the sense that she's really not like using her sexuality or whatever. She's a little bit more tough, a little bit more
Like a Remy?
a little bit more tomboyish in
Yeah.
a sense, but she's still like sexy and shit. But she's just like, I feel like she's my favorite girl rapping. So I do want to shout her out.
Megan Thee
So-
Stallion?
No, the
No, she's super dope too, but I'm talking about Rico Nasty.
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion is
Shout out.
quite attractive as well, even if you're not into the music. She's a looker.
This is Rico.
This is
Rico
Rico. She's the
Nasty.
shit.
I got you. All right, I'm gonna check her out.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yo, you guys want to do an audio Extended audio is
Man,
that cool?
I don't want to stop. Do we have to stop?
Extendo
No,
clip.
no, we don't have to stop. That's
All
why
right.
I just asked him if they want to do an extended. Is actually meaning ongoing.
Yeah, those are always like 10
On
minutes. I want to do like
iTunes.
another hour or some shit.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna dive in on iTunes and Spotify. Yo, thank you guys for coming on the show for real.
Hey, my pleasure. Low gang for life.
Big facts.
Fucking yeah,
Big
dude.
I'm
fucking
leaving the
facts.
glow gang and joining the low gang.
Let's go. Let's go. Subscribe to this channel if you are not subscribed. Guys, we're the #1 podcast in the world. I couldn't make that up. It's not a joke. It's a fact, an analytical, statistical
Adam
fact.
doesn't look
We
happy
checked.
about
No,
this.
no,
I
I
was
was just
looking
looking
for that stat online one day. I didn't find it, but I believe you.
You didn't find it? You gotta look harder.
All right.
It's based on key sentiment
Algorithm
algorithms.
is
It's about manifestation.
manifestation. All right. Extended audio right now on Spotify and iTunes. Take it easy, fam. Hey, actually, we're still here. We're still in the visual. I just want to say, make sure to check out No Jumper,
Hey,
Adam's
appreciate that.
podcast, and follow these guys on Instagram, and which is where, by the way.
Yeah, drop your shit.
Oh, just Adam22 and then Lena the plug.
Lena the plug.
All right, now we're going to audio. Bye.
There are some white people, I guess, if I could say this, I don't fucking know, that are just too white to do this shit.
Right.
Like they can't be
You could
hip hop
say- yeah,
fucking.
yeah, you could
You know,
say
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
I
Like,
see a lot of white people in the actual like music industry, and then the rappers totally fuck with them. Like my
Yeah,
friend
facts.
Eli from Atlantic. I'm gonna shout Eli out because he just FaceTimed me.
Shout out Eli.
Eli is